Yo, it is currently Saturday. I didn't record yesterday, but this will be a recap of the 16th, Friday the 16th, day six on the funded account. Um, Loki have a bunch to go over, so I'll go over the morning session first because I actually did pretty good in the morning session, and then we will go over me fucking up the Asia session the day before. Really quick, let me show you P&L. We're ending the week up $1,000. Two red days, one pretty bad day, and then the day we're about to talk about. So this was actually on track to be a worse day than this. We were down like $500 coming out of the Asia session, and Loki did some damage control in New York. So let's go through this really quick. So on the higher time frames, I was looking at this. So down here we had this 4 hour gap, but then on the 1 hour we have this massive 1 hour gap, and we're trading like right at CE of that 1 hour gap, right at that midpoint. So from here, I was on the lower time frames. I said we have these two. No, let me go back one bar for the open. I said we have these two 5 minute gaps sitting above, and then on the 3 minute, we put in a small inversion down here. And then we have a little bit of displacement here. I don't want to call this a fair value gap. This is just like a low volume gap. So we have good displacement here, and then I was looking for us to put in, I think it was this, another 3 minute inversion here. So I was either looking for, I actually have it written down right here. Yeah, so here, I was either looking to buy out of this 3 minute inversion, because if we look at the indicator, we did make a small BPR. We do have a little fair value gap in here. So I was looking to buy out of the 3 minute BPR or wait for us to put in this 3 or 5 minute inversion. And if we respected either of these 5 minute gaps, I said I would step away, but I should have went break even at this 5 minute gap. So click through a little bit. We end up putting in that 3 minute inversion, but we trade right up to CE of the 5 minute. At this point, I got like a little bit overzealous and looked for my entry because I was like, okay, we put in the 3 minute inversion. Maybe we pull back to this BPR down here and push from there. So I put my limit order in at CE of that first inversion. Let me go down to the 1 minute so you can see. So we get tagged in at the open, and initially it looked good, and this is why I said I should have went break even. Because like I said at the beginning, if we respected these 5 minute gaps, I would I'd have to step back and wait for a new setup. So we invert the 3 minute, come down, tag me in, push back up to the 5 minute gap, reject. I should have went break even there, but I did not, and that ran my stop. But I wasn't too worried about that because if I zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see we are way over our weekly levels. So our weekly point of control is how many points away? 35 points away. And we're over our weekly value area high. And usually, if you're over a value area high, I look at that as like an overextension and start looking for shorts. But we were in a overnight discount and we're in a strong uptrend. Like I was very bullish. I'm just like long term bullish on RTY. Like if you look at how it's been trading this week, we've just been running. But we come down, put in a new value area low, tap into that 4 hour gap. I was thinking we wouldn't come down this low because we're already trading at CE. I was thinking we would flip from here at the open, but we come down into a deeper discount. And now, since we're under our weekly value area high, we're in a weekly fair value. So we're in a weekly fair value and an overnight discount, and we're in an uptrend. So I was looking for another buy out of here. Um, and the way these two lined up, I was just like, okay, so this is new. Like we're okay to buy at this value area high, not at the value area high, but since the weekly level came up, that kind of just tells me that like buyers are accepting this higher price. So they're gonna take the overnight discount. So I go down to the 1 minute. So we put in this 1 minute inversion and immediately almost run through it. So I look for a 2 or 3. I don't remember if this was a 2 or 3 minute actually, because they do line up pretty well. Let's see. This looks like I'm 2 minute. Yeah, it looks like I entered might have entered here on the high of the 1 minute. Or I might have just I think I was front running a little bit. So it looked like yeah, we barely inverted here. I guess I get tagged in on this next candle. That's what it looks like. Yeah, something like that. So we buy out of this 1 minute inversion at a deep discount, and I am looking for London highs way up here. What did I just do? Yeah, I was looking for London highs up there. So we get tagged in, we push initially, like we get a really good reaction, and again, I'm looking for us to invert this 5 minute gap. If we reject off this 5 minute gap, I was going to trail my stop, and we end up wicking through it. I don't think we invert it on this leg. No, we don't. Yeah. So we respect the 5 minute gap. I trail my stop up to 1R because I didn't want it to get stopped break even, and it tags me out right here. Boom. But I get stopped for 1R here. So at this point, we're flat in the morning session. Let this play for a little bit. Ended up just being a retrace and then pushed again. But if I go to the 5 minute, technically we do invert this. We invert this last 5 minute gap, but we reject lower off of our 15 minute opening range high. The opening range high right now is almost perfectly lined up. You know, it's yeah, almost perfectly lined up down here with this first 5 minute gap. Then the second 5 minute gap up here. So we retrace, push higher. I did when this pushed, I was like, oh damn, I should have stayed in, but we didn't end up hitting my full target. So I was just watching to see like what I've gotten stop break even. Would it hit my actual stop? And at this point, I would have been stop break even if I stayed in this trade. So yes, I could have held through this retrace and maybe closed for a little bit more somewhere up here or on the way down over here. But ultimately, it didn't hit my final target, and it would have hit my would have stopped me out. Let's see, yeah, it would have stopped me out. So I was happy getting out for 1R on this trade. There. And then at this point, I was going to be done because, like I said, I already did a lot of damage in the ASA session the day before or the night before, and went flat on the New York session here. So I was like, maybe I should just be done. But this was like looking almost identical to I think it was the day 4 video when I was like, this is the type of price action you have to take advantage of, or I need to take advantage of. We pulled back into that 4 hour gap, literally almost the same level that I was buying at before. We put in a, let's see, I think I enter on the 3 minute inversion. So we put in a 1 minute. Yeah, so I see us get this reaction out on the 1 minute. Go through this. I see us getting this reaction on the 1 minute, put in this 1 minute inversion. I go to the 3, look for a 3 minute. It was here. So I'm just waiting for this to close, pull back, and then I will be in. Almost like perfect. We get the 3 minute inversion. We get the 3 minute inversion here. Pulls back down, tags us in, and we get a good initial reaction. So at this point, I was turn this back on. I was looking at these. We already inverted these 2 gaps, so this isn't anything to worry about anymore. But we did put in a new 5 minute here on this leg down. So bring this back a tad bit. And I'm gonna wrap this up. But I was trailing my spot pretty aggressive. I should have just targeted 2R here, but again, I was targeting London highs. Let this play. We invert the 5 minute, push above the opening range high, and you would think like, oh, this is a W trade, like it just ran straight to your target. It did, but I overmanaged. When we inverted this 5 minute gap and then broke out of the opening range, I trailed my stop right under this gap. And if you look, we barely wicked out, and this is the candle that tagged me out. So I'm thinking we invert the candle here, we break out of the opening range here. I don't think we're going to trade back inside of this. Realistically, there's no reason to trail my stop that extra little bit. I already had my stop in profit. I already had my stop here at 1R. I trailed for an extra point. The extra point ended up costing me 9 or 8 points. So that's kind of ass. But I was cool with it because this was really just damage control for what I did in the Asia session. So this was pretty good trading day. 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss in the New York session, but that did not recover my losses from the night before. So let me go to those really quick. Okay, so I'm really just gonna break one of these down. You can see I took 4 fucking trades. I didn't win any of them. Um, on the 15th, this is the 15th Asia session. So I'll go over these. I'm gonna break down this one because it was basically like the same idea. I just kept trying over and over and over and over again. Um, so coming into the reopen, market opens at 5. We invert the, what's this, 3 minute? Yeah, we put in a 3 minute gap and immediately invert it. I don't know why at this point I wasn't looking to sell. Um, we're at a premium or we're close to our value area high. You can see that we've been rejecting out of this 15 minute gap in the past. We got an inversion out of it. Not take it. I'm not even sure if I was on my computer at this point to even take this, but this was a very good inversion. Like I definitely should have taken this. And then honestly, there was tons of sell opportunity after, but that I didn't take. But at this point, I'm looking for us to come into a overnight discount, which an overnight discount is irrelevant when you're only an hour into the overnight session. But I was looking for us to trade out of this 4 hour, I think. Yeah, we're sitting in a 4 hour gap. I was just looking for any inversion out of it. So click through a couple. We put in an insignificant, or we put in a 3 minute fair value gap there, and then on the way up, we invert this 3 minute gap. This is essentially just like pattern trading, like a conversion buy. Like there's nothing in this developing discount, but that doesn't matter when we're only an hour into the session. If anything, I should have been going off of a 24 hour, like somewhere back here, and look for like a 24 hour profile, or look at a 24 hour profile, if anything, or just previous day profile, like literally anything but what I was doing. Um, yeah, we take this inversion, obviously it does not play out. I think I closed this one early, um, but yeah, this would have ran my stop. I got out early, and as we're selling off, I'm like, okay, we're just going into a deeper discount instead of flipping my bias and just looking for shorts to these inefficiencies down here, or even to these lows, or this low, or the value area low. Like there's a lot of sell side targets. But honestly, I'm just gonna put this on the play because you'll see it was basically the same setup every time. Okay, we had a 15 minute gap in our value area low. I saw a point of control move up, so I was like, okay, bet buy opportunity. It stopped out, immediately re-enter on another inversion. Um, I could have taken this at 1R or trailed my stop, but I didn't. What did I do here? I'm pretty sure this trade got stopped to break even. Yeah. So when this one got stopped to break even, and I saw that we continued pushing, I FOMO'd into another trade, and then I'm pretty sure this one got fully stopped out. Pause this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one got fully stopped out. So we had two that got fully stopped out, one that I closed for a small loss, and one break even. Luckily, I was risking small um, because like shit like this blows accounts. Can't be doing this. This is back to the calendar. So after all of those Asia session trades and then doing decent in the AM, we did some good damage control. Ended up being a small red day, but it very much could have just been a nice green day. I could have been requesting a payout on Friday if I only traded that morning session. So that was my Asia session on the 15th. Worst trading period, like worst trading day that I've had on this account, definitely. But that was how Friday went. I'll probably do a video doing like a I'll probably do a video doing like a weekly recap. Not like going over all my trades, but just like going over stats and what I'm looking for next week, plans for next week, shit like that. Um, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Up $1,000 on the first week. Um, that's it. Till Monday.